Hey everyone, my name is Cyberprime and welcome back to Da Boys in the Pod. This is a podcast hosted by me, Cyberprime, and today with me are two of my best friends, David Kivo and the Turtle
Oh,
Guy. And
Wow,
Hoover
that came
is not
out
here
of nowhere.
today, but he will be here soon. And we're just going to get right into it. This is a podcast where we talk about just random stuff, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not as funny, but it's still interesting, hopefully.
sometimes we're
And
back and crying.
yeah, exactly. We just cut all the ones where we have existentialism and just can't contain all of our
Let's
dread.
cut the real emotion and just cut to where we cut the cheese. Talking
Exactly.
about
What?
farts.
I've never heard that expression in my life.
Though I gotta
Well, I
say
have.
straight off the bat, I'm shocked the Cyberprime is like my best friends.
I say that all the time.
Nah, disagree.
Disagree.
Source.
Source,
Your phone?
reference,
What? Yourselves?
Bibliography.
Okay. Well, let's talk. Let's do small talk. Anything interesting happened to you boys recently? Anything peculiar? Anything strange?
I got a package today.
Ooh.
What'd you get?
I got this is gonna be this is a unique Tailgate thing. I got Lego parts. So customized Lego parts. So custom printed
Rebuild
art.
your broken heart.
No, not pieces. So custom printed arms, custom printed capes, and custom printed little book.
Damn.
I saw the book actually.
Oh, is that for what you sent into the group chat? Great response.
Yeah. I'm on edge.
So
here.
what I sent was it was a custom printed Doctor Strange head
Yes,
where he had
yeah,
three
yeah.
eyes.
Three eyes.
I think the other one that David saw was the
book.
Darkhold from
Yeah.
Ooh.
Doctor Strange.
You must not read from the book.
Exactly.
From Agents
This
of
place
S.H.I.E.L.D.
does like a whole bunch of customs. They've done a Homelander custom that I haven't got yet.
I
They've
want
done
that so bad.
yeah.
I'm slowly putting together a collection of Homelander stuff. Turtle Guy got me. I don't really collect them anymore, but I still really like this. The Homelander Funko Pop.
I think I went out of my way to. That's the one where he's kind of like hovering. That's the.
It's the one where he's got his hands behind his back and he's got the laser eyes. It's cool. I like it a lot.
Was it that one? I thought okay.
Yeah, I
got
like it a
you.
lot though. And I have like a Homelander action figure and stuff. Like I want to get a bunch of Homelander shit.
Yeah.
And the goal one day would be cool to have like a signed Homelander, like something to put behind them all and have them all in one place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
The actor
I
do
don't know.
much
Retro.
of conventions?
Say again, sir.
Does the actor do much of those like signings or?
I think he's been to a couple of Comic Cons. If he ever comes to the one in our home, if he ever comes to my home, you know what I mean.
I've
I'd like
come
that.
home, son.
I just really like Homelander as a character, and I like his design enough to have a bunch of plastic versions of him in my house, and I want to have the Lego one. I think that'd be cool.
And then you want to have
Um,
the real one in your
The other
basement.
custom
No, I'm
one
joking.
they
Yeah.
do I've never seen the film, but it looks cool as hell. They do Ash Williams from Evil Dead. And
Oh,
it looks
yeah.
so
Yeah,
cool. The facial
which the one with like
expression is dead on.
the chainsaw hand from like,
Chainsaw, and he also has the Sam Raimi loves his books.
He's a big book guy.
Ted
The
Raimi loves his
Necronomicon.
hotels.
his motels,
Motels.
his Holiday Inns.
Well, I guess
Oh,
all
yeah.
of those films that Sam Raimi did left their mark on the industry. But just to bring us into today's topic,
Well, you didn't even fucking let me say what I. Fuck you.
Were you talking? Wait, did you say what?
I was going to say something before Turtle Guy even spoke, and I patiently waited for him to finish talking, and I was ready. I don't even want to say it anymore. No, I'm not even going to. No,
Go for it. Go for it.
I'll
go
save it for a future. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead. What's today's
No,
topic?
go for it. Go for it.
No,
Go
I'm
for it.
sulking.
No, well, we don't let you sulk. You're not paid enough to sulk.
Maybe
Let's
the
keep
topic
going.
will let me bring it up in a more casual way.
I really don't know if it will. But today's topic is leaving your mark. I'm curious to know any places you've been, any events that you've been to where you've distinctly left a mark. If it's like etching on a tree, if it's etching on a rock, anything. If you've done something that you've left a
have
part of
one.
yourself, there,
Oh,
let me
I
know.
did.
Oh my
I
God,
left a
I'm very
dollar.
curious.
I left $1 in a street vendor's wallet when I bought an original 1980 Empire Strikes Back Bosk action figure. That's what I wanted to talk about. I have a Bosk from the actual Empire Strikes Back toy line from the 80s. That's all I wanted to say.
That is very cool.
Right? It is cool. I was just looking at it when you asked about like whatever you asked at the start of the podcast. That was the first thing I saw, and I was like, maybe I'll mention that I have this, but you didn't let me.
Well, I mean, it's cool that you have.
But now I mentioned it. He's cool, and I like him a lot.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one actually. That's an interesting one, especially for. I want to hear Turtle Guy's point of view on
Turtle
things.
Guy. I was going to give an example, but I'm not going to. Turtle Guy seems very
as
excited.
the local criminal. I'm very excited to hear what Turtle Guy has to say about things.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, until Turtle Guy returns, I guess I'll hear your example.
Well, okay. My example is not necessarily my example.
What?
Right, so this is actually a story that my grandfather told me. And I
Papa Prime.
think that it is based on truth. I don't exactly know how exactly truthful every single detail is, but basically, he went on holidays to the United States, and basically he came, and then he was there for the whole time, just going to visit, and then I think he went somewhere along the border between Canada and America. And they were walking around, they were looking around. And then as they were walking around, this is a completely different time back then. He stopped and he looked at
He was in the future.
No, but he stopped and he was with his friends and he stopped and he looked at the border crossing and he was like, you see that sign? You see the official border crossing sign that marks the line between America and Canada? You know what I want to do with
God.
that? I want to take that home.
That's
So
incredible.
he walked up and was blocked, or like got two of his friends apparently to stand in front of him, and I think unscrewed it and took it, and then he took the actual sign home, and I have
That's
no
incredible.
idea where it actually went, but I don't. Maybe he left it in America, but yeah, that's apparently a thing that happened. So
Your grandfather is
He
responsible
buried it,
for
like, one day
America
he'll
and Canada becoming one country.
oh yeah, that one single thing just merged them.
That's
That was
the only
the
thing
barrier.
that kept the border up, yeah.
Yeah, no. So if you're
That's
ever
hilarious.
Go through
passing,
your attic one day when you're like 50 and you'll find a note. It's like, "Hello there, grandson. You've come this far. Maybe you're willing to go a little further. You see, when I took that sign off, I figured out there was a code on it, and you're gonna
Oh, this is
find
like your
some
national treasure.
treasure."
Yeah.
uh,
I don't have
the sign.
a story even close to as good as that. Well,
But-
I
yeah,
have a story about leaving my mark.
but
I have a story. I mean, I was setting myself up to tell a story. Turtle Guy, read the fucking room.
You know I don't.
I mean, at least he admits to it. But yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but if you're ever driving in between from America to Canada or from Canada to America and you've seen that there's like a slightly faded square or circle or whatever shape on the border wall that just doesn't have a border sign, that's
yeah.
why.
That's
Episode
Or maybe they got it
100,
back,
we
I don't know,
we
but,
go,
like-
we go to the border and we try and track down the sign, or like where the sign was taken from.
Yeah, we just fucking have a the boys in the pod road trip. But anyway,
I love that.
Okay, David.
whose
tell your
next
tale.
story is David? Okay.
Well, my story's not really that interesting at all. I was really drunk one time, and in the chipper,
Sorry.
I feel like a lot of my stories are going to start this way. In one of the chippers in my town, or the town I went to college in, me, my friend, and his girlfriend were there, and we were all waiting for our food. And I started calling myself Dipper Kiv, and they thought that was the best nickname on the planet, so they all called me Dipper Kiv as well. And I wrote Dipper Kiv on both their hands and the post in the chipper, and that was like 3 months ago, and it's still there apparently, according to him. He went back, he found it there.
Wow.
So Dipper Kiv, if you ever see that, you know me.
He was
Long
there.
live Dipper Kiv. Well, I have
Long
two
live Dipper Kiv.
stories now.
Oh, I have another one as well. That it's actually me.
Okay, I have two, so I'm gonna do. One I'll run through really quick is me, Cyber, and I think Hoover. We did a musical a while back ago, and the big. Well, I don't know if it's tradition. I don't even know if it's still there, but the back of the set, it was like covered in people's names.
Oh,
Even my brother's name was actually down there, because he did a musical like years prior, and we writ our names in marker on the back of the set, and I had a
Yeah.
bunch of other names. So
That
that
is
was
You know, That is cool. I did a musical in the same school, but like it was the one before that, and I don't think I ever actually did write my name, which is a shame.
I think I did. I just cannot for the life of me remember
I'm fairly
where I
certain I
wrote
did.
it.
I drew a
I'm
picture of
so
Squidward on the table in the biology classroom.
Yeah, there's another thing we could talk about, you and tables and that school.
What?
We're not going to. Uh,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Neither do I. But anyway, move
yeah, I'm
on
not
with your
telling you.
other story.
Moving to my story. So one day I went to college, and I take the bus to college. And
I was not
I got
expecting this story to see the light of day.
I
well,
know. I love how we both knew exactly what story.
anyway, so the only thing that was different was usually I take toast
is
and a cup of tea
respondibly-
before I go to college. But today a parent was there and was like, have some Weetabix. You know, the slogan
I
of
thought you were
Weetabix.
going to
have
say
a
have some
Weetabix.
weed.
Yeah.
Coke
Anyway,
up, bro.
so we were getting pretty close to the college. I was seeing some landmarks I recognized. I was like, my tummy feels a little weird. This was weird. I didn't like the bus was packed. It was pretty full. We were right near the college. I could see like landmarks of the college, big landmarks of the campus. And then I don't know. My body, whenever I get sick, just a warning burp. There was a person sitting next to me, and I'm like,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
could you
the
move? Could you? I need to either get
pre-rumble.
the pre-rumble. But I was like, could you move, or you should probably move.
Oh my god.
She fucking legs it. She books it. There's no more time. I
And
throw
then
up.
you
There are
booked it.
two gentlemen in front of me, and they are just scared out of their wits. My insides are outside. I threw up on the bus.
That reminds me
Someone
of
get me a towel? The towel didn't fucking help. Also, I don't even know if she got her towel back, because
I
I don't
wouldn't
know
fucking
who
want
she
it back.
was.
Buy a
no,
turtles for you.
Oh.
God. Anyway, I don't know why she donated her towel, because, like,
Just
it was nice
vomited.
of her, but, like, you
Good
ain't getting
Samaritan.
that towel back.
Yeah.
There's a funnier section to this story. So I throw up, and the bus driver's like, "Listen, will I drop you back home?" And okay, he does, and I'm back home, and everything's
But you didn't go
fine.
in that day.
I didn't go in that day, which was a little annoying, and I basically emailed the lecturer like I ain't coming in, and then like a person who I know texts like, "Oh yeah, you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just got sick." Then another person I know, that went on the bus with me is like. She was texting me about something else, like, "Oh, do you know is the bus coming today?" And like, "Oh yeah, it usually is." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what caused this," but she's like, "You know who got sick on the bus today?"
Of course I knew him.
That's legit what I texted. Of course I know him. It's me.
That's so
Oh
funny.
god.
And she was like, "Oh, I didn't notice. Like, you didn't notice that I wasn't off the bus. That I was like, I was just fucking sitting there in my own fucking."
Oh,
Like even
up to
even a
your
close friend of mine
ankles.
on the bus was like, "Oh, I'm glad you're okay, but the bus smelled like shit." Afterwards. Like no,
Wait, you shit yourself as well?
no, I didn't
Oh.
shit myself.
Like, it was like a sprinkler came at both sides, and he just turned.
Oh my god.
No, oh, thankfully
Double trouble.
not. I think that's the worst. Like that's the worst.
I've got like 3 stories now that's
That
reminded
reminds
me
me. Yeah, no, that reminds me of one. I'll just go real quick. This is okay. One is kind of me. One of them is my mom. When my mom was younger, she had a couple of friends, and they were getting into her friend's car, and one of them was incredibly, incredibly drunk. This is the first day that this person ever got a brand new Mini, so it was a big deal. This is the first day that they had it. Less than 24 hours in their possession. The person got into the back seat, was super drunk, shat themselves all over the back seat of the car. And
Christ.
that was that. I have no idea if they cleaned it. If it was me, I would have burned it. But that's kind of I don't really know what happened to the car. Luckily, it wasn't my mum's car. Now that leads me on to another toilet-related story. In my college, there was one building that I never used the bathroom in for no reason. I just never had to go when I was going through or in there until like the last 2 weeks of college. So I went in, and I was like, "Oh shit, I don't even know where the fucking toilets are in this place." So I walked in, and I was getting like, the urge was building up. I needed to go, So I was going during the hallway. I was kind of frantically looking. I seen the women's bathroom and I knew where that was. And I was like, ah, fuck, that's a last resort. But then I kept going. I seen some open lockers, but I was like, no. So then I kept going around until I seen the actual men's toilet. And I went in. I was like, oh, thank God. I burst in. I walked into the door. People were probably staring at me because I was sweating and like hunched over like a fucking monster, looking for an empty stall. But then as I was going to open the stall door, something caught my peripheral. And I looked to the right, and I seen that someone must have been so incredibly angry with whatever came out of their anus that they whipped open the stall door and punched a hole clean through the wall of the toilet. You could see the shape the fist made as it went through like the fucking drywall or whatever, and it just went clean through. And that completely removed all of my need to piss and all of my need to shit, because I went into kind of detective mode. I walked up and I started fucking examining it, and then I realized, oh shit, I actually have to pee again, so then I went in. But whoever that was left, they literally punched through the wall. I don't know what was going through them or out of them, but they completely demolished. That wall did not stand a single chance, and they definitely left their mark. I was not the one to punch, but that's something that I witnessed. I'm still trying to think if there's anything that I did that legitimately left my mark on the
I've got a few.
College. Okay, yeah, go for it.
While you were thinking, well, there was one time where I had to shit so badly, so I ran into this place. I slammed the stall shut, and it was coming out of me. I don't know what I ate or what, but it came out of me so fast and so loose that I punched a hole through the wall.
Wait, really? Wait.
But I do have a couple. So I have one about you, Turtle Guy.
Oh no!
Oh,
where you it's another story about you getting sick, but you did it into a pizza box.
You motherfucker! You stole my story.
I'll let you tell the story then. I'll let you tell that story. No, you tell the story because I have my own story to tell.
It's called Our First Night Out, because I think this is the first time we went out to like a proper club. I think it's shut down now.
It is shut down now.
Probably.
But on a night out, we got picked up. We purchased a pizza. We ate the pizza, and then there's not really much to tell. Like, there's no real deep psychological stuff other than I threw up in a fucking pizza box.
Yeah. So this is so I have another story about. So basically, I was in Italy last year, and it was a lovely time. But we were on our first day. We were in a place called Sorrento. It's a nice place.
Cool. Nice.
The first day we were there, we just went to a few different places and drank.
You threw up in a pizza box.
A lot of drinking was done. Italian beer, it's strong and it's good, and I drank a lot of it. So the next day, I was feeling a little bit seedy. Now, we'd booked a trip to Capri, which is an island like a little bit off Sorrento, so you have to get a boat over there.
Sunny?
Fuck you,
It's
Turtle Guy.
Italy.
I had to hold the urge. I had to hold the urge to make that joke.
Anyway, so we were on the boat over. I'm sitting there, just trying my best not to feel anything. And next thing I just say, well, this is it. So I took my glasses off very calmly. I took my hat off very calmly. I handed both of them to my mom and said, I am going to vomit. So I kind of got like a little bit of like a pre-vom like rupture.
Oh, I hate
Yeah,
that.
Now, to be clear, let me really quickly explain the layout of this boat. So the boat, it's not like a huge boat. Where we are at the back, there's benches in the middle, and then there's kind of a U shape of seats at the edge of the boat. We were on the benches in the middle. My dad is to the left of me. My mum and my sister are to the right of me. Now, logic would dictate that it would make sense for my dad to move since he's at the edge, and then I go to the edge of that boat and get sick. My dad instead turned to my sister and my mum and said, "Get the fuck out of the way! He's gonna get sick! Move!" And then they were like, "You move!" So I'm in the middle of them about to vomit. Eventually they moved. He still didn't move. I ran to the edge, got sick. Because we were going forward and I'm getting sick off the side of the boat, all my sick goes behind the boat. So it's like an L shape coming out of my mouth. Pretty sure someone had gotten some girl's hair. It was awful.
No!
So I made the walk of shame back to the boat, and my dad slapped me on the back, said, "Are you alright?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Grand," and then bought me a beer when we got to Capri. And I was like, "You are sick." But yeah, that was that.
But you were sick.
I was very sick. I had another leaving your mark one that wasn't about bodily functions.
I
So
hope so. That is not what I expected this to
we've
go
kind of
into.
gone down this.
this really
we've
went
gone
down the
this
hill.
Yeah,
train of,
very quickly.
The
throwing
toilet
up.
talk.
Oh,
When I
Jesus.
think of that one, I'm gonna have to think about it for a minute. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Turtle Guy, do you have anything to add in relation to leaving your mark or seeing someone leave a mark? Or any marks that were left that, like, shouldn't
Oh,
have
I just
been?
remembered it. This was about
Don't say bodily fluids.
unfortunately, but it's funny.
God damn it.
Our college, Turg, I don't know if you were aware of this, but our college was plagued by someone who went only by the Phantom Shitter.
No, what the fuck? The Phantom Shitter.
Yeah, so
Dun,
basically,
dun, dun.
you'd go to a stall, and you would find the stall had been used thoroughly, and there was huge shit and like toilet paper shoved in and all this.
Oh, God.
And you would always find written on the door, the Phantom Share.
My question is, would he write it on the door like before, after, or during?
I'm feeling this motherfucker knew his bell movements, but no, I think it wasn't just one person. I think there was like it was like
you
a
think it was a
title.
I
collective?
think it was
Yeah.
the cult of the Phantom
Anyone
Shitter.
who shit enough was the Phantom Share, but they never flush. Was their goal was to cause
Oh, I want
chaos
to
by
become a
not flushing.
Phantom Shitter.
Did any of them get identified?
None we know of. No,
Interesting.
like the head of our societies at the college was accused of being the Phantom Share. But I
What,
don't.
really?
I don't. Yeah, but he never got proven. But I don't believe that for a second because no one of any authority ever came out to our building because we were the freaks of that college. But anyway,
So true.
speaking of taking a shit in college, this isn't really leaving your mark. But a friend of mine really hooked me up with some valuable info where there was two like full public toilets, but
Yeah.
then there was one way down the back that was like a wheelchair accessible toilet. It was also the inclusive toilet, so it was kind of gender neutral or whatever. But no one ever went there. It's right down the back of the building. You had to turn the lights on yourself, and I finally, after 4 years, was able to take a shit in peace in that college. And that was,
I'm gonna need you
and
to send me a map.
we dubbed it the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, God.
That's not related or anything. I just wanted to shout out that place. Bring me some happy memories near the end.
That reminds me of another story. So thankfully, this doesn't feature shit. Poop,
Thank
or,
God, thank you.
bodily
I'm sorry that I
fluids.
even
It
contributed
does
to that.
feature technology. So, I want to apologize for being the one that kind of introduced the whole shit and poop. But there's a student in my college. He used to be a theater student, but then we banished him. Nah, he left. He's a film student now. Even in first year, he's like, "Oh, hey, could I borrow your phone?" Or, "Hey, could I look at that?" Or, "You'd leave your phone down." This fucker would take your phone, go straight to the fucking camera thing, and fucking do a whole bunch of fucking selfies of
There's
him
a
doing
lot of people that
stupid,
do that.
doing a stupid face.
There's a lot of people that do that.
David, I think you met this person.
Probably, but I don't remember most people I meet. To be honest with you.
Just about remember me, but that's kind of like a dedication thing because I keep.
Oh, you planted a flag and you refused to move. That's you beat me down.
I made your mark on you.
17 years of this shit, man. But anyway,
I have another story that is still related to the toilet, but not actually related to pooing. Because
Fuck.
at
of course, that this is. I really did not expect this episode to go into fecal matter. But that being said,
Making your mark.
there was some in your college. You said was plagued by the Phantom Shitter. My college was plagued, probably not to the same extent, but was plagued by someone who I don't have a creative name for right now. So I'm just going to call them the chair relocator.
Yeah!
Throughout this entire year of college, someone would randomly steal chairs from very specific lecture rooms, the ones that didn't have like bolted down seats, and they just placed them in random places. The best ones were always when they were lined up in front of urinals in the lads' bathroom. There was one put in an elevator, loads of them put in car spaces, so like there'd be one per space to stop people from parking.
Save your car space.
There was another one just in the middle of the lawn one time, and someone stole a trolley and then put the chair in the trolley one night. So it was just pretty funny. So like everywhere you go on that campus, there was a chance that you would discover a chair that just clearly should not be there. And sometimes it was creepy if you came across them at night. Other times there was just a chair in the bathroom, and it didn't matter. You could just sit down if you wanted to. You didn't have to if you didn't. But yeah, there was someone who would just relocate chairs, and that was kind of it. I don't know what their end game was. Don't know what their goal was. It was beyond my understanding, but still.
I have a question about your college.
Yes, go for it.
You can either cut this out if you have
just
nothing
don't say
to
the
add, or
name.
No, but
You just dropped your full
the
legal
Power
name and IP.
Rangers?
Yes! Oh my god, they fucking there was like a couple of
Oh, I
months in
thought
a
that was
row
Hoover.
where no, but there was
They
people
left their mark.
they left a mark. There was people that ran around college as Power Rangers. And I even got to walk up to a supermarket and order a bread roll right beside one of them. And they actually were really funny. But they would go to their lectures dressed as all the Power Rangers. But better yet, they would run up to people playing sports, and I shit you not, they would fucking dominate them. There was some person that there was people playing basketball, and I seen like a recording of this once where they just barrel into the basketball thing, and they grab the basketball and they jump over a person. They're like literally, they're fucking Supermaning it. They lob it in, and it's perfect. They're like,
Yeah, I mean, they had the
superhumans.
acrobatic power of a Power Ranger.
Yeah,
so
I'm not joking. They straight up did. And then there was another time where they followed someone to their lecture. And they probably knew them in person, but there was a load of videos going around of this person like looking over the shoulder every couple of seconds to see a line of Power Rangers like hiding behind a wall, just like stalking them to their lecture. It was very funny. But yeah, the Power Rangers did exist in my college, and I think they're probably gone now, but I don't know. I didn't see them in the last couple of weeks, but they definitely existed. They definitely left their mark, and you can never take that away from them.
The only other story I have about leaving my mark is, again, I'm doing theater. I'm doing a theater course, and for most of the shows, I am either the poster designer, and we plastered, especially with the last show we did, we plastered that college with posters. Like the any surface, like we were told, okay, stick to the billboards, or like the notice boards. All the notice boards got one, so bloody they went everywhere. There's such cool fucking posters though.
If you stood still long enough, you just stapled them onto people's foreheads as you walked by.
Yeah, I got 3 of those.
I did 2 of them. Anyway,
Came back for seconds.
So I also did the set designs. Most of the set designs. For one of the set design, we just had to paint the set anyway because we had to. One of them I didn't really do the set design. The other set design was we just painted a blue circle. And then the other one, the most infamous one, is for the last show we did, I was set designer, and they were like, okay, we want you to do like a skyline. And I was like, I can do a skyline. And then of certain place. I'm like, okay, I can do a skyline. The skyline was not at all accurate. Like, I put in a few landmarks of the location. I sent you pictures of this. We were making skyscrapers that didn't exist. I made a big building, and I basically called it, like... I basically gave myself an own building. I called it, like, the Bank of Turtle Guy.
Hilarious.
You just wrote that
Couldn't
out.
write it on the damn thing, but, yeah,
It was headcanon.
We basically met our mark, because we were meant to clean that up. And then we're like, oh, it'll get cleaned up over the summer. I don't know. It is basically, I could go back and it's still there, and I will be like, here you go. Here you go.
It'll be there perpetually. No one will be ever allowed to change that. It'll go down in history as like
It'll be changed.
campus.
It'll be changed. I will go in there and I will be handed like some paint and like go now. Also, the amount of paintbrushes, again, leaving my mark once again. Technically, this wasn't my fault because I had to leave and I entrusted people like, you can clean them, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll do it. No problem. Those rollers and paintbrushes were fucked. Didn't clean them, and like the person was like, oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to leave them because I had to leave really quickly, and yeah, I totally wasn't bored or doing something else or doing recreational drugs, so I had to leave. But don't worry, because I'm gonna get some white spirits and that'll instantly fix them. I don't know much about paint. but just getting white spirits isn't going to magically fix them. Like, they were hard as hell. They were gone.
Now, leaving your mark might not necessarily have to be physical. Like, there's also
Exactly.
like emotional things. Like, you
You
could have
could
left
leave
your
an
Well,
mark
that's what
on
I was
impression
going
on
to
someone's
ask.
face.
What?
I was going to ask if there's ever been anything that's left a significant mark on you
Ooh.
emotionally or something like
Do I
that,
have
maybe.
the slight reverse of how I left a mark on someone?
Oh, go for it.
Pulled out my blade and I signed my.
You're like a fucked up Zorro.
I left a big T. No, so my thing is I referenced it briefly, so I'll reference it again because look at me go. So I once did a theater thing, and it was a show. Cyber attended the show. David could not, and he missed
Yes,
out
I
on a
did.
damn fine show. But the night you went is basically the night where I felt I felt really fucking good because I had an interesting piece to say the least. I really felt like I left an impression or a mark on the audience
Oh,
because
you did.
like the whole audience or like the whole cast even felt like that because we were just really into it and just yeah, it was kind of like a both like we had the impression of we did a really good job, even like our director and all that was really proud of us, and the people they were left with the mark of a good, slightly traumatizing show.
Yeah, it was very satisfying all around.
Even the littlest of things can leave an impression with people. It's
Well,
what you do.
you're speaking of the theater section of our college, Turtle Guy. That left a fucking profound impact on me as well.
Oh no!
When I went there, so for my final year project, we made a TV pilot, and my one was like a fantasy kind of genre. So we needed weapons, and the theater course had a bunch of like stage weapons that we were going to borrow. So me and a friend of mine went over to the one of the
Oh,
theaters on the campus to collect them, and
you were
we
guided by
walked
someone.
in. Yeah, you brought me there, right? That's not relevant to the story.
Okay.
Interrupt me again. I swear I'll
He
eat your
just wants
head.
to make sure he gets as much spotlight as possible.
I swear to God, I'm gonna kill him. Anyway, so we went into the theater to collect the stuff, and what I say, it was the most fucking. It was literally like a physical wall of stink that we walked in on. So this place, for whatever reason, maybe you have an answer to this, Turtle Guy. Motherfuckers just weren't wearing shoes or socks.
Yeah.
Now, I hate three things: frogs, bare feet, and loud eating.
Sequel to your
Very-
previous book coming soon.
Exactly. Yeah, this is part two. But this like everyone's running around in their shoes and it's off. Like some people had no socks on. Some people had socks on. Thank fuck. But the smell was terrible. It was a mixture of feet and sweat, and I thought I was going to fucking die in here. It was terrible. But it made me remember something else that left a big impact on me. And Turtle Guy, you might have input on this as well.
No.
On our very first day of college, we had to
You're
do
gonna call him by his
icebreakers.
nickname?
I am fucking getting to that, Turtle Guy. I will eat you alive.
Disclaimer: he won't. Just want to point that out.
Right.
So we had to do icebreakers, and one of the icebreakers we had to do was that we all stood in a circle and held hands. Which I have another story about that, but maybe I'll save it for a different podcast. But when we were all standing in a circle holding hands, in the middle of the circle, out walked a theatre lecturer who earned a nickname that day, and this is why. He stepped into the middle of the circle, kicked off his shoes and his socks, and as I said, feet, frogs, and loud eating. Top three hates. This motherfucker had his toes out and was stomping around in the middle of this nasty ass carpet, fucking talking to us. God knows what we did, but I just remember he did that, and I was like, "This is fucking horrendous." Now, it turns out the guy is really nice. I've met him a few times since. He helped us with getting the stuff for our project and stuff. But I don't care what his real name is because he will always be known as the Barefoot Bandit, for as long as I know him.
God,
So there you
you
go.
guys have way more interesting lectures than mine. Mine are all just kind of like.
No,
people in suits.
there are boring ones like
Yeah,
David
there
was
definitely are. But I could definitely do an entire podcast talking about
two
one lecture
theater
in particular.
ones are pretty fun people, and David, yeah, I think you met them both. Did yeah?
Yeah.
You met Barefoot Bandit, and you met the other one. I feel really bad calling the other lecturer the other one because great lecturer.
Yeah, but she
But
doesn't have a creative nickname.
no, no. Uh, I wanna see if I can actually fill in the blank. So they don't really have a proper reason why we did any of our stuff barefoot.
Gets you closer to the ground, gets you to commune
Yeah,
with the
that's
feet, the
basically
energy.
what we were told. It's like better energy, so you're closer to the ground. Also, the other thing is just like a health and safety thing. Barefoot is better
What?
than in the socks. So barefoot, you have more grip than you're in your socks. Because if everyone went round in their socks, and this has happened where people went round in their socks, socks are more slippy. Therefore, you slip on your fucking ass.
But why don't you just wear
So-
shoes then?
So yeah, so glad I didn't do a fucking theatre course. I would have killed myself a week in,
Oh, please don't.
But the
and
barefoot
probably
man,
someone else too.
What a guy! There is another
Strangle them
one.
with the socks.
That is
Yeah.
actually that links to David's story. That David's friend that he mentioned went to get the weapon.
Yeah, you left an impact here as well.
Left an impact. I left a mark on him. So week you were shooting for your project and I was doing my we were busy men in the arts. But we were doing rehearsal. We were actually doing like a run through, a dress rehearsal or like a technical run through the day where your mate came to get the props. And both theater lectures, because I'm in a theater course, were there. So I think he came to pick up keys or something, or to get him, or whatever. But he was there, and then he was basically told, "Oh, could you just sit backstage for a while and wait?" And he was sitting backstage when I was doing my scene. No, before I was doing my scene, and I had to rush in, and we had changed the running order. Because originally, there was meant to be a person in between, like, I was on for a scene, there was meant to be a person in between that I wasn't on, so that would give me time to get changed, and then there was my scene. The order had been changed, she was fucking... That scene was out because that person was basically... He didn't show up. It's a whole thing. It doesn't matter. So what happens was, I now went from having 10-20 minutes to getting dressed to fucking 1 to 2 minutes if I'm lucky. So
you
we
had to
tried
engage
that.
in the speed force.
Yeah, but it wasn't really soaked in the Speed Force enough. So rushed out. Like this wasn't even it wasn't even me at this point. It was like I was taking off one piece of clothing, and then there were other people taking off other pieces of clothing. I was trying to take
It's like
my
an
shoes
Iron
off.
Man suit. Like, do you know when all the arms
So I
come
was
off and
just
take off
thinking,
different
yeah.
things?
Yeah,
Just
it
a
was
load of
like
people.
Iron Man, but like the arms are coming out of everywhere, and like okay, I'm gonna hate doing this, but there was this Lego animation of like Iron Man doing that, but like the armor came at him so fast it
Keshin
would
8.
break his bone. Yeah, Keshin 8, and it would break his fucking bones. That's basically how it was. All this, like, it got to a stage where I was in my I was putting on the shorts that I had to wear for my next costume, and the lecturer's like, "Yeah, that's taking way too long," and we're like, "No fucking shit." And then your buddy was just there, like, "Hey," I'm like, "How you doing?"
That's
So,
what? That's
he got a show.
that's the only. Oh right, you didn't say that he was just there while watching it happen.
He was backstage. He was back. He was sitting backstage, and obviously I had to get dressed backstage because there was no time for me to get anywhere near a dressing room.
I
Sorry if I
misunderstood the
explained it
assignment.
badly,
Okay.
but yeah, that's how it happened. But he's a chill guy, and I actually like him. He's a like I said in the previous podcast, David's college friends bloody love him.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that I'm missing there? Did I like
Was
get
that the
super
full? Was
wild?
it the full scoop?
Oh, well, I wasn't there, so I
Oh,
think it's pretty
you
much
missed
it.
out.
I don't think I did.
I'm okay. I just got another thing. I don't know if this qualifies as leaving my mark anymore, but I've definitely affected someone's transportation. I'm looking to the left right now, and I have an Amazon delivery package. I'm gonna hold it right now. It's just a box. I'm gonna shake it. You might be able to hear it. Yeah, there you go. It has never been opened, and I got this. Where the fuck is the date? Then the 11th month of 2021, and I have never opened it because around that time,
You have someone's mail.
No, no. I got it delivered to me, but there was a very specific reason why, and I'll tell you what it is after. Actually, no, I'll tell you what it is now. It's a bike lock. And you may be thinking, if you know me, Cyber, okay, that's cool. I know you ride bikes, but I don't think you really, really ride bikes regularly. And that is true,
That's
because
exactly
I own
word
a
for word
car.
what I was thinking.
So I don't really do that. I don't remember the last time I properly rode on a bike that wasn't with a group of people.
Ever.
But anyway, there was this. I got a call at like 7. No, it was about 8, I think, in the morning. On one of the days that I didn't actually have to wake up early for college, and it was one of my friends from college, and they were saying, "Oh, hi, I know you're here. Could you help me with my bike lock? My bike lock, the key just won't turn it for some reason." I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it." So I got up, got dressed, and then just went down to the bike rack, and I was like, "Oh, they were there," and I was like, okay, cool. Let me give it a try. And then in the first try, I went ding, and it turned. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, there you go. It was easy. And then I noticed that the lock didn't actually lock after the key was turned the entire other direction. And then I pulled the key out just to see, and the key completely snapped. There was half the key in the lock, half the key in my hand. I kind of just froze there because it took me a couple seconds to register what just happened. And then they couldn't use their bike lock because it was broken. So I ordered another bike lock for them off Amazon without telling them. And then after a couple of weeks when it arrived, I went to give it to them, and it turns out they already bought one in advance and wouldn't take it. So I now own a bike lock that I'm probably never going to use. But if any of you ever need a bike lock, hit me up.
Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I've never opened it. Still literally packaged. There's a hole in the package.
Bike and put the bike lock on it, and therefore you own their bike.
That is, I like the entrepreneurship there, turtle guy. But yeah, no, I left their mark on their bike lock by killing it. But yeah,
I mean, it was nice of you to like.
it was good intentions, but I just did
Turtle
not.
guy,
You probably should have told them.
Turtle guy did something like that.
He did.
Turtle guy left an impact on me. This is my last story. Turtle guy left a nice impact on me. When we went to see Spider-Man: No Way Home, Turtle guy greeted us all with gifts,
Yeah.
Huh?
and
Where's this going?
we. Well, I just thought it was a nice thing. He greeted us all with gifts, and we were like, "Oh, well, we didn't get you anything," and you said, "Just pass it along," and I was like, "That's a nice thing to do." I just thought it was.
Oh yeah, well that was
Yeah,
that was a
I was
positive.
genuinely,
impact.
I was hoping for
It
an
left
ill
it-
intent, like.
No,
No,
it
yeah,
left
I
a
was trying to
positive
remember. Did he
impact
break
on
your
me.
car keys or something? I was trying to connect it to the bike lock.
I did break my
Yeah.
car keys, but that wasn't then. That was a
that's
no. I
pretty
was trying to be.
crazy, yeah.
Why do you just assume I'm going to be negative all the time? Fuck you both. You know what? I'm going
I
to burn
didn't
the
say
gift you
anything.
gave me. I'm going to burn your house to the ground. I'm going to beat you up. Fuck you.
Well, that'll really leave an impact.
Character with the gift
Sure
I gave
would.
you, but okay, so that
That is true. The gift
I
you
will-
gave me was the Homelander I mentioned. I think in
I
a
will
previous
actually-
episode.
I will actually add to that a little bit. So basically, 2 weeks before that in college, just one of our college mates who he's a lovely chap. He just out of the blue, like, we used to do Chris Kindle, and it left a mark on me because it went absolutely fucking tits up. But I'll save that for like a Christmas or a fucking presents podcast video we do.
Yeah.
But,
Which we should do.
We
Kindle fucking it went tits up in college. But just so basically this year he basically just gave us like little presents. Like there were little trolls glasses and it came with a little troll thing. Like I looked it up. They only cost him like 60 cents. So like but that wasn't the big thing. It was just the thing where he just decided like he got everyone, even the people like he wouldn't really talk like he got everyone in the class, including our lecturers. He just got them one. And I'm like, that's really nice. And he's like, oh, do you want anything? And it's just like, nah, just give something nice to other people. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give a gift to my friends. I'm
That was
genuinely.
nice.
Yeah.
Cyber, I gave you the John Walker.
Yes, you did.
And David, I gave you the Homelander pop. What did I
Mhm.
get Hoover? I know I got Hoover something.
A hug and a pat on the head.
Kiss on the lips. I think you got him food, wasn't it? I can't remember.
It could have been food.
I
Maybe
don't,
sweet or
man.
something. I don't know.
We can ask him next time he's on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I think
This is when we announced that Hoover will not be on the podcast no more.
no, but I think that's everything that we have to say, really, about leaving our mark. I'm sure there's other ways we could have interpreted it.
We interpreted it in the most
yeah, no,
shitty way.
it
A
wasn't.
lot of poop talk. In
Yeah,
this one.
not what I necessarily hoped for. I thought we'd go into like positive things, like maybe we helped the homeless
We
one
did
time,
kind of a
or
little.
left a mark at YouTube or something like that. But no, we went
Yeah,
straight to
that's
toilets and
I-
shitting
no,
and
I've never helped the
I
homeless.
have another story, but maybe I'll save it. But it is.
I
a
watched
quick-
someone fall over and I didn't even try and help them. I just walked past. Tried not to laugh.
That actually happened to me. One of my first days in college, someone fell over right
Oh.
beside me, and I was in a real rush, so I went back and I helped them up, and then I was trying to.
You pushed him over again.
No, but
This is the duality of me and Cyber.
No,
I just walked past.
No, they-
I
it was-
walked past and kept eating my fucking burger. Cyber dropped everything to help someone, even though he was late. I had nowhere to be. I saw this person fall, and I was like,
Jesus.
David actually pushed him.
no, I didn't push them.
But yeah, no. But after I helped her up to her feet, then she told me to get away because she was scared of COVID, and then I was like, oh okay.
Yeah,
that's
you know
kind
what?
of
I think that was
understandable.
kind of yeah. That's fair. That's why I didn't help this person up. I had COVID. That's not
A
true.
little mean. Like, okay, fair, but also.
No, I understand it. She was older and old enough, so like I did kind of. I was
I
wearing a
definitely wouldn't
mask,
help
but
you
still.
My vendetta for the week is old people. I hate them.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for listening to today's episode of The Boys on the Pod. Be
We
sure to
hope it
check
left
us
an
out.
impact on you.
Yeah, we hope it left an impact on you, and hopefully the next episode will include
leave our
less
mark.
toilet humor. So, and toilet-related stories. So
Good.
There's no guarantees.
be sure to.
Cannot confirm or deny.
We can't. No, it's impossible to predict. But be sure to like, subscribe, add to your collection, support, heart, whatever you got to do to see this podcast on whatever you're listening to for next week. Be sure to check out the
Phone, take
Twitters,
your
the
F.
socials of everyone here. The Turtle Guy, you can find him on YouTube. David Kivo, you can find him also on YouTube. And then Cyberprime, me, you can find me on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch, kind of. Haven't been on there in a long time. But and also, if there is a Twitter dedicated to this podcast, you can look at that. I don't know if it will or if it'll just go through whatever channel, but you'll get used to it. I'm sure you'll know. Just look up The Boys in the Pod and you're going to find it somewhere. But anyway, I have been your host, Cyberprime. He has been the Turtle Guy. He has been David Kivo. And Hoover said hi. So we should all respond by saying goodbye, everyone.
Just one episode we'll do. Hoover will just chime in at the very end. Like, we should put in one episode where Hoover's like, "Hey guys, I met it," and then it just cuts.